Alright, hey loves, so welcome back to Trevina's space. And now a couple of weeks ago I put out there, sorry, like I don't like these videos, but okay. I asked persons to just ask me some questions they would like me to answer. Just like a little get to know your question and answer, and I got a couple of questions, I think about 10. Let me just check my phone. I got a couple of questions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. About 15 questions. Right? So I decided for one of the videos I would go ahead and just do a little question and answer. But with that question and answer, I wanted to do something still food related because that's what my channel is about. So I decided to do a little dessert tasting. So I went to a local catering or food store. I don't know if you can see this. It is called Cook-Ups. I don't know if you can see it. I'm not sure if it's focusing. Right? And I got 4 of their desserts. Now let me shout out to the customer service rep. Oh my gosh. Let me go get her name. I want to ensure that I put in there because she was so awesome. She was so like, I literally asked her about almost everything in the showcase, and she was so patient about telling me exactly what everything is. So let me just go get her name real quick. I'll come right back. Alright, love, so I'm back. Her name is KRISHENDALE PANTON. KRISHENDALE PANTON. She works at the Victoria PEIR location. Girl, you are awesome. Thank you so much. Customer service was awesome. Hookups owner, she's doing a great job down there, trust me. Right, so I wanted 4 different types of desserts to do tasting or to just eat while I'm here because I didn't just want to be talking and say it's a food channel. I still wanted to be food related. So I got this remoulade from them. It's basically a sponge cake with a chocolate mousse filling and some, I think it's strawberry glazed over the top. So that's this one. I also got their carrot cake. I am a lover of carrot cake because I love it and I think I make a really good one, so I wanted to taste theirs. So I bought their carrot cake as well. I also bought their bread pudding. She said I think it named butter bread pudding. I think that was the name that they gave there. So here it is, a really nice healthy slice. And their rum and raisin cheesecake we have right here. Now let me just get a disclaimer, I did taste a little piece of this already, so that's why you see me like that, but there we go. So I bought 4 different pastry from them, and as I said, while I'm answering some of the questions, I'm going to be going ahead and tasting some of these. Alright, so before we move on, you're going to hear a little fan in the background because this is what makeup and the can't do with it. I don't like sweating. So you're going to hear a little bit of the fan in the background, but that's okay. I'm sure you still can hear me because I think I'm fine. Alright, if you want to know the prices of the stuff that I bought at Cook-Ups Creation, just leave a comment in the description down below and I can definitely go ahead and give you the prices, but they weren't too bad at all and I'm really excited. As I said, I tasted the rum and raisin cheesecake and I just want to make sure I'm giving them a real reaction in another moment. Alright, so let's get into these questions. Alright, so I have the questions on my other phone here and I kind of just jot down some answers to some of the questions, but for the most part I'll just be talking. Alright, so one of the first questions, before I even start, let me I think I'm gonna start with the carrot cake. So I'm gonna open it. I'm just gonna cut off a little piece, guys. I'm not going to eat all of them, all of everything. I'm just gonna taste pieces of it. So I'm going to start with the carrot cake. Alright, so I'm just taking out a piece here. Okay. The filling, no, I won't say I'm picky, but there's certain things that I really love about pastry. And one of my pet peeves about carrot cake is that sometimes persons make the cream cheese sauce, cream cheese icing or filling too sweet. And I just tasted a little bit of this and it's definitely not sweet. You can definitely taste the cream cheese. One of my pet peeves is when I eat it and it just tastes extremely sweet, and this is not that so far. So that's point one for you. Love that. Alright, so let's get a piece of this carrot cake. Moist. And guys, I bought this yesterday evening, so it was in the fridge overnight. It's not dry, it's still moist. As I said, the cream cheese filling, I can literally taste the cream cheese in it. And it is just all around. When you taste the carrot, you taste the spices. So I like it. The difference, I think the little bit of difference with mine is that I put like pineapples in mine and stuff like that. But this is straight carrot cake, and it's really good. So that's good. Alright, so one of the first questions I got was, when did you realize you loved cooking? Alright, and to be honest, when I saw this question, it wasn't something that I could pinpoint immediately, like said, this is when I realized. But what I wrote down is that as a child, I can vividly remember my mom baking a sponge cake once when we were younger, and you know, she putting it together. Me and my cousin can't wait for it to come out because you know it's cake and we well want to eat it. And I remember when it just came out of the oven, it was so fluffy, it was so nice, it looked so awesome, and we were like, yes. 2 seconds later, the sponge cake flat, like me, I don't know if you say. And my mom and my cousin, we were just laughing. And I think one of the things that I realized from that early age, because I was around probably 7 or 8, is that even with that mistake, Mama was still laughing and we were still enjoying ourselves, and even the sponge cake actually still tasted really good. It just deflated. So one of the things that I realized that I loved about cooking is just you putting you in it. It doesn't matter what it is, it doesn't matter how you're putting it together. At the end of the day, something that you love, and then my mom made it look so enjoyable and so fun. I remember during Christmas times when we used to make what we call our Jamaican Christmas cake, and a lot of the Jamaican children, you know that when your mother finished mixing, my mom used to make it in the big, because she used to sell it, because she was a caterer back in the day too. Shout out to mommy. That she used to make it in like a big pan, a big tub, you know, like those bathtubs, right? She had a big one which she used to make because person used to do orders and stuff. And of course, we couldn't wait for her to finish to get the pan to lick out and stuff like that. So I think those were the memories that really got me into loving the kitchen. So it wasn't one specific thing, it was just all of those things coming together that really, from an earlier age, I remember saying that I wanted to be a lawyer, but I'm definitely going to own a restaurant, I'm going to own a bakery, because I always love the kitchen and I love that. And I think that's really when I started from a very young age. As I said, it's not one specific thing, but it's just those memories that as I'm grown now, I can remember that, yeah, that was the reason why I really love being in the kitchen. I hope that answered that question. Alright. So, but you know, I'm going to eat some more of this carrot cake first. And she has walnuts as the decoration and as part of the decor around it, which is really good. So that gives you the different textures. So I love that too. So cake for me is a thumbs up from Cookups. So love that. I should really get some water though. Alright, I'm gonna get some water and be right back. So I went to go get some water. Alright. So the second question was when did I start? Let me just, it says, oh, when did I start cooking and baking professionally? So I wouldn't necessarily call myself a professional, but when I started to actually get clients outside of my friends and family was about 8 years ago. There was this Christmas party and I put in my bid, of course, to do the catering. And really my mom was the one who, Chatrina, you man do it, because I was like, to be honest, I'm always the one saying, I don't really like doing stuff for that for people, to be honest, because at that point I'd only done it for friends and family. So I'm like, I really didn't. But my mom said, go ahead, man, Trina, just go ahead and put in the bid. So I did, and they chose me to do the catering. It was for what, I think 200 persons. My first time doing catering for so much persons. I was like freaking out. But of course, people, when persons see me going through the motions, person wouldn't know that. But every time I do anything for anybody, I always have this sense of, because, you know, I really want to ensure that persons enjoy what I do. And did the party. Now let me tell persons, when people, I tell them, I see persons do their stuff and it comes out perfect every time. That first catering, I was 3 hours late on the day I had to be running up and down buying stuff because I forget to buy stuff. When I was on my way to the location, I had to stop and buy stuff. I had to be calling this person, like, it was just chaotic behind the scenes for that first thing, and I was just and when I was done, God is so good that at the end of it, persons were not early for the party and all of that. So really at the end of the day, I was not late. So yeah, that's when I first started doing it professionally 8 years ago for that Christmas party. Thanks be to God. God always had my back, so even when me late, him on time. Yeah?
Last time back that left Peter.
Can't watch them. Like, I can't even do this in peace. So she over here, so all of a sudden she and them would want the food and be carrying.
She come back and read them place her crosses.
Don't pay them no man, it's just my parents and her friend them. And Nikki, she round there talk, but she don't want to on the video because I hear her look good.
What's somebody she said now? Have you heard video me?
But can't like them can't give me a break. Anyways, let me move on to the next question. So the next question that I was asked is, as I said, I'm looking on my phone, my other phone for the question is, what is your favorite dish? Now this is a very hard one for me because, to be honest, there are so many things that I love to do in the kitchen, but I think one of the things that I really love, I love ackee and saltfish, love ackee and saltfish, that I can eat it 24/7, love it, and I also love lasagna. So those are my 2 things that I really love, but I love other things too. So I won't say it's my favorite, but those are 2 things that came to mind immediately. So ackee and saltfish and lasagna, and everybody know ackee and saltfish is Jamaica's national dish. So yeah, right? Alright, so this craving one beside me, she wanted the cheesecake to cook. I know, but cut off the remoulade for taste and the plate empty. See? I don't get any. So let me try to get a little piece to tell them how it tastes.
It's good. It's spongy.
So they say they like it. It's not sweet, it's very spongy and nice. So let us see how it is.
It is nice. Coffee is good.
Alright, so the one thing about me, I really don't like the taste of coffee.
Yes.
So
Aftertaste.
I think they have a little bit of coffee in there or dark chocolate, I'm not sure. I really don't like, but apart from that, the cake is really spongy for true, and I love the mousse. It's really soft and nice.
It's mousse?
Yeah, it's chocolate mousse, so I really like that. So this is really good. Apart from, as I said, I'm not a real coffee or dark chocolate lover. Well, not all dark chocolate, because some dark chocolate is really good. But apart from that, I love the sponge cake. Like, it's literally sponge. You know, you touch it and it's still spongy. So I really love that. So this is really good. Loves. I'm craving too. So yeah. Alright. Interesting. Cut off piece of the cheesecake while I finish my question. I can't deal with them. Okay. So the next question, let me just start because we just reached number 2 and I don't want this video to be everlasting. Or number 3. So number 4 is, do I prefer baking or cooking? Oh. The answer is, to be honest, I prefer cooking because there's more room for me to be creative and I really don't have to worry about the science behind it, because everybody know that when you're baking you have to ensure that liquid and and flour mixture and all of those and rising agents and all of that has to be in it to ensure that everything comes out and it don't come out tough or it don't come out with a crack in the top or all stuff like that. So that part of baking is kind of restricting, but with cooking you have a lot of freedom to just do what you want to do in the kitchen. And that is what I really love about cooking. Not to say I don't love baking, because I can be very creative with the baking, but I always have to keep in mind the science behind baking. With cooking, not so much.
So it just jungle, it just right from it. Oh my god.
See? So hook up. I don't even have to say it's not me. I can't say me biased or whatever. So she tastes it. She loves the rum and raisin cheesecake.
It tastes so good. You can taste the rum. It have the rum rich in it. If it's drunk about it, wow.
She loves the rum, so she will love it. So I don't too much like the alcohol. So when I tasted it yesterday, the rum was really strong in it, and I'm like, wow. But if you are a person who love that, it is really good. But apart from that, again, the texture of it is really good. You definitely taste that it's rum, and you know sometimes I get cheesecake and you have to be wondering what they like. You're not wondering with it. You definitely know what it is. So see, Tracy love the rum and raisin cheesecake. So I guess I don't have to take Tracy nobody eat it off.
I'm not gonna make you want. I'm gonna leave it like a free hour.
Yeah, and mommy I don't want to.
And they're gonna cost.
Yeah, so please don't eat it off.
This is nice.
Alright.
Try to breathe for you know.
Alright, so the next question I have is, if I could cook for a famous person, who would it be and why? To be honest, this one I really had nobody really came to mind to cook for, but who I would like to bake with is Yolanda. I think her name is Gam. And she has a YouTube channel called How to Cake It, and I just love her approach to how she does her thing. Like, it just always seems effortless, and even when you know she has those little moments of things that she makes sure that she shows us, and I really love that. And I love her execution of all her cakes and then her mega cakes and all of this. I like how she does her thing, and to be honest, watching her channel has helped me a lot in baking, because it helps me. It gave me a little bit tips and tricks of how I can improve my decorating, because to be honest, that is one of the things I struggle with in the kitchen, is the decorating part of baking. I would not say I'm excellent at it. I'm good, but there's definitely room for improvement. So there's nobody I would like to bake or cook for, but to bake with Yolanda from How to Cake It. Girl, if you see my video, please give me a shout out. I've been watching her for about 4 or 5 years now. Really love her channel. Next question, who do I look up to in the cooking world? Again, Tracy says she loves Ramsay, but to be honest, again, I don't have any one person. I think that there are so many chefs and bakers and pastry chefs out there that have excellent technique, execution, and they have different styles, and I think that is what I'm more drawn to, is how you get your stuff done. So I love, like, I remember back in the day I used to love watching food channels, so I loved Rachel Ray because she made it look so relatable and so easy, and I loved Giada because I love the little Italian flair to it. I loved Aina in the kitchen because, you know, she was just this down south, you know, love that. I also loved Buddy, the cake boss, Buddy Velastro. I loved his creation because he made some over, like, oh my, I used to say, yo, mother just don't be in his kitchen for like a week. So there's not one person, there are just several persons that I really liked across the board because of different reasons. So yeah, for that would be my answer for that question. Favorite ingredient to cook with, like, I'm still thinking about this one because I cannot come up with one answer. So for that, I'm going to move on because I really don't know what would be my favorite ingredients to cook with. So yeah. Most embarrassing cooking moment. No. I remember a couple of years ago I was doing a fish fry and cookout, and a part of the menu was roasted fish. So you know, Jamaicans know we stuff the fish with callaloo and we season it and we put it on the grill and stuff. Great. So how I know what I did, because we had quite a few orders for the roasted fish, I just packed all of them, stuffed them with the callaloo, wrapped them and put them one side. And what I was doing was just putting them on the grill for the space that I have. But during all of the chaos, apparently I served a customer raw fish, and I don't mean sushi people, I mean that the raw, I think it was parrotfish, in the box with a good food, can't get a man to eat. Now thank God he was very gracious about it, because my mom of course went back to ask him if he likes the food and stuff, and he was like, to be honest, Maureen, the fish when me get raw. Mom like, when me never fully cook the man, me like, no, the fish never cook none at all. And mom was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, and you know, wanted to give him back his money and stuff, and he was like, no, that's cool. He said, all I'm gonna just go and go put it in the oven, and he come out and him said season and it tastes good, so me nah don't complain, it just nice, me just had to say it, bro. So I'm like, that was the most embarrassing moment I can remember. Cause I'm like, oh, my first serve people around food. But I guess that happens sometimes, especially when you're doing a lot of stuff and you have many orders, and sometimes, you know, we just need to be organized in a way that little things like that don't happen. But I always tell people, you cannot account for every single thing, so things like that are going to happen. But for that I really felt bad, but I love that he was so gracious about it, because I know some people would are like, they want about their money or whatever. So I was really happy and glad that he was so gracious about it, but he just wanted us to know that, guys, just, you know, double check next time. So that was my most embarrassing moment. Where and how you were trained, or where and how was I trained? So I spent a little time overseas in Houston, and I did some courses at Houston Community College, and my lecturer at that time was Chef Eddie. He wrote a book called On Baking, and he was really, like, I tell persons that is where a lot of the things that I know now started to cement, and I really got into it because I learned so much at that time in such a short space of time, because I think it was just a year I was there for because it wasn't like a bachelor's course, it was just different courses that they did. So I really appreciated that. So I did that there, and then I came back to Jamaica and I went to the University of Technology and I did some other courses as well. And that is how I would say that I was trained as a type of person. I don't think I'm a chef or a professional, because I didn't get a 4-year degree or anything like that. Most of what I know is from my own kitchen, from experience, from learning from my peer, from my mom, and from other women in my family and stuff like that, and of course from my own trial and error. And trust me, there has been many trials and many errors. So when persons say that, like, I'm not one of those persons who got it perfect all the time, I can say that what I do is that anything that I do that makes a mistake, I always try to go back and learn from that. So that is one thing I do, and a lot of times the mistakes actually end up helping you to get better. So that's it for me. Why did I start a YouTube channel? Alright, so let me be honest. God released me to do that, and you might say, God released you to do that. Anybody who knows me, doing something like this, like putting myself out there for everybody to see, is not that. I'm just not that type of person. I tell them I kind of like my little space. I like my little, you know, I like my little circle of friends. I like my little circle of family. I'm very, you know, so for this has been about 3 or 4 years that my mom has been telling me to start a YouTube channel. My sister had friends. I said, you really need to do videos and let people know. Person said, we need my own cooking channel. Like, I don't know where them get them something from. But I remember sitting in my living room one evening, and like literally I got the release from God, because I used to always video some of the stuff that I do, that little videos like when I'm doing that little meal preps and stuff. I used to just make videos of it and then put stuff on my Instagram page, because I didn't really want my Instagram page to be about me per se, but just stuff that I did. So I always had little 2 and 3 minutes video on my phone. So I remember the evening I was sitting and watching a YouTuber actually, and I think it was PEIR that I was watching, and you know, he was telling us about how to start a YouTube channel, and I'm sitting here and I'm like, okay, cool. And when I was finished, I just got the release from God to say, Trina, go ahead and do it, it's okay. And I'm like, God, we don't really want that, because when you do these things, you're opening up to criticism and persons to tell you how they feel and all of that, and it's not that I will take it like it's going to be detrimental to my character or anything, but if somebody says something that really nice, of course they're gonna feel a little way about it. So, but again, I've gotten that because I've done catering for persons, but I just think that this was so beyond anything that I've ever done, and it was not something that I was used to, and it's definitely pulling me out of my comfort zone. So once God gave me the release and he said, you have a video, I had this little 3-minute video on my phone. That's the first video that you see I put up with me doing, I think, an overnight oats, or it was a chia pudding. And the night, it's on my phone, I did it. I just went on to, because I already had a YouTube account, and I just uploaded the video, and that was it. And from there, to be honest, I've just been putting out content, getting stuff together, and as I tell persons, the more I do it, is the more it's the better I get at it, and it's a little more comfortable that I get doing it. And of course, as we continue, you will see improvements in even the quality of the videos and stuff like that, because a lot of persons, this is all new to me. Shout out to my mother. Like, I tell persons that when she like, me don't know, I don't know about Uno, but my mother shout out the mother, they like, persons call her helicopter mother. I don't busy with the boss, and my mother supports her kids all the way. Anything, like, my mother is the first that you really not do this, try this, she'll buy this, she bought a ring. Like my mother is the type of person that supports whatever I want to do. She's the first one to come onto the YouTube channel to say something. She tell all her friends, like, she bad up the people them for follow me. Like, my mom, I just love her so much. So shout out to you, mommy, if everybody know my mother, because you guys met her in the pumpkin punch video. So yeah, that's how I start. That's why I started. So once I got the release from God, then I said, okay, let me just do this, because a lot of persons used to always ask me, Trevina, how you do this? Trevina, where you make this taste? So Trevina, what you do for them? And I used to say, like, me not do nothing different from nobody else, me just cook. So persons, I know you need to show me how you do this. I thought instead of telling persons individually, I would create a space where not just my family and friends, but anybody who would like to know how to do certain things could come and find things that are relatable and easy to do, because me not in the fancy whatever. Make talk to you just as how it is. My kitchen is a regular kitchen. I don't have no whatever. It is just very relatable and down to earth, so that not just my friends, but persons outside of my circle are able to see what we can do, but how they can prepare stuff in the kitchen, and then persons will have a better idea of how I do what I do in the kitchen. All right. So yeah, that's it for that question. Alright, so the next one I'm going to be doing is their bread pudding. So I've just been chatting, I haven't tasted their stuff, so let me do the bread pudding. Okay, so it just tastes like a regular bread pudding. I think I can taste definitely butter in it, because the girl did say that they butter it and stuff, so I can definitely taste the butter in it. And they have a little rum sauce on the top of it, and it has in raisins and cinnamon and stuff like that. So yeah, that is their bread pudding. It's good, it can be eaten, and if you've had bread pudding, it's pretty much how it is, it tastes. Alright, so let's get to another question. Or it says, why do I like baking and cooking? And I think this is very similar to a question I did before. I like baking and cooking because it allows me to be creative, and I put out my own little twist on different things. So even if I see somebody doing something and I'm like, oh my god, I want to try the recipe, I don't ever create it the exact same way. See my friend Tracy in the background. I always put my own little spin on it. I always do my own little twist. I always have ideas of how I can make this a little bit different. So even if I use somebody's recipe, I never replicate it the exact same way. So that is what I love about baking and cooking, is that you have the space to be creative, and that's why sometimes persons say this is a creative space, because just like art, I think baking and cooking is art, and it's just a different form of art, and this is how I do mine. So that is what I really love about cooking. And I think one of the things I really love about cooking, or why I like cooking, is because it's a way that I express love for persons around me. So I tell persons, if I cook for you or I offer you food, you must know that it's not that I won't offer anybody food, but if I spend the time to sit and do something specifically for you just because, then you know. Because if it's just me, I tell person, if it's me alone in the house, it's bare cereal me eat, and I'm cooking. I don't have time for that, and I'm cooking for myself. But once I have people around, I always want to be cooking, and I always want to ensure that they enjoy what they eat. So that's one of the reasons why I love cooking. So my papa would understand and so Alright, it says, where am I from and who started me cooking and at what age? So if you have not figured it out by now, I am from Jamaica. Yes, black, green and gold, representing all day, every day. Who started me cooking? My mom. Kind of answered that question before. And at what age? I told you guys. I remember, there's another memory that I have at about 9. My mom put in some chicken in the oven, and she said that, I think she went to the shop to come back, and she's like, Trevina, just watch the chicken. Me and my cousin were there, my older cousin. Me and my cousin start ramp out a door with people, whatever. By the time my mother come out, that chicken up and up. My mother like, Trevina, I'm like, oh my God, like, those are the things that I remember. And I'm like, ah! But I was about 9, so as I said, it was a very young age, and because cooking was such a big part of our family, what we did, like, all the men in my family can cook, all the women, like, I don't know anybody in my family that can't cook, even them not excellent at it, everybody in my family can cook, so it's not something unique to me. So cooking has just always been a part, and you know, we do Christmas dinners, birthday, but like, so from growing up, that is where there's no one age I can specifically say that I decided or realized that I really love cooking. What do I enjoy most about cooking? Again, freedom to do what I want, to be creative and choose different ingredients in different ways. Things I want to get into from starting my YouTube channel. I want to build my catering business, because I said I do catering for persons occasionally. I want to learn and collaborate with different chefs and cooks, and of course bakers. Those are some of the things I want to get into with this channel. There's one question that I didn't answer. It says, dream moving forward with YouTube channel. I really don't have any one thing. I just want to show people what it is that I do and how I do what I do, and let them know that it's not that hard, because I'll have persons that think that the kitchen is so scary and they can't, like, I have a friend that I work with, and she said, you know, like, she's not realizing that really and truly you just need to have the things that you need, like the equipment, and then you can do what you need to do in the kitchen. There's no big design or no big thing to it. It's just you using what you have to produce what you would like. And I tell persons that if it's chicken, you have chicken, don't have to do one way. Chicken can do, like, there are so many things that you can do with chicken. If it's fish you love eat, there are so many things you can do with fish. So I don't want persons to think that it's an extraordinary thing. Like, it's nothing like that. It's just you using what you have to get what you want. Like today, my mom going to make ackee chicken back, and we can't wait to eat it. And people say chicken back, yeah, chicken back is nice. So it's no big thing. Like, it's not something that is so out there. Anybody, literally, once you have the basics, like, you know, of a boiled water or whatever, of course you're going to have things that you're going to get wrong and things may burn, but that's a part of the learning process. So you need those things in order for you to get better, right? So that is what I love about the kitchen. Now, I have been rambling on for how long? But I hope that through the questions that I just answered, persons kind of get a better idea of who I am. Because persons said, Trina, you need to make people see you more often. And I'm like, well, I need to see me, you just need to see me a cook. But I guess for it to be a little more relatable, persons need to see you. But you will notice that most of my videos, it's just what I'm doing, you will see. And that's because I really wanted to focus on what I'm doing, not necessarily me. but the things that I'm preparing. And I really like when persons leave comments and make suggestions in the comment section, because I always say, person, I always learn. I'm always learning. I don't know everything. I will never know anything. So when persons give me suggestions and tell me, like, I love it, because that only makes me better. All right. Please, I love this space to be a positive one. So please miss me with all of them negative comments there. Like, just go somewhere else with that. Like, I always tell person that if you see something that you don't like, if you're going to use constructive criticism, that is great. I will take it. But if you're just here to be mean, miss me with all of that, because I don't see why you'd spend your time just to be mean to somebody. But again, I guess I can't escape that with this platform and social media. And to be honest, certain things really don't, like, I always tell people, you're either gonna like me or you're not, and that is okay, because most people who know me love me, and well, everybody who know me love me. So, but I just don't like the negativity. I tell a person, say, I don't see the sense of us being mean. If you want to give constructive criticism, that's great, because that helps people. But just for you to be mean, this is not the space for it. All right. So I hope that answers the questions that person had. And if you have any more questions that you'd like to ask, you can definitely leave them in the comments of this video, and possibly I'll do another question and answer. And I think maybe with that question and answer, I may have my friends and family come, because them love in everything. So and they're pretty fun and cool people. So if I do another question and answer like this, or maybe I do a question and answer with them around me, if I ask them my cook and stuff like that. I don't know if you guys want to see videos like that, and they can give you their own impression of things that I've done. So please remember, of course, to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'm going to take off these glasses because I'm stop reading from the phone now, so I don't need it. So remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. Like, I reached 100 and something persons the other day, and I was so excited. Like, I'm, oh my god, I'm just like, not just 100, I'm gonna say yeah. So thank you so much for those who have been subscribing and following, and of course those who hit the notification bell. Like, I have persons who are on it. The other day I sent it to one of my friends, Chandel, and I said, girl, go watch the video, and a girl watched it already, and I'm like, yes. So please, if you have not subscribed, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, you know what I talk say, and of course hit the notification bell as well, and tell your mother, tell your brother, tell your uncle, tell your father, tell everybody to come and join Trevina's space. And hope, well, moving forward, I'm sure we'll get more content and we'll have more interaction with each other. All right, so until next time. Oh, let me shout out Cody. Cody, thank you so much, girl, because you have just been such a blessing. Like, it's one of my church sisters, and I love her. It's like, you know, when I look at friends, and the other day she said, man, shorty to intro, if you see that thing at the beginning of one of the videos that I put up there, I said Trevina's space with the, she did that. So Cody, thank you so much, because I didn't even ask and she just did it. So I really appreciated that. So shout out to you, Cody. Thank you so much, darling, for always supporting and always believing. So I will see you guys in the next video. Not sure what that video going to be, but yeah. Alright, so bye now.